Change of bowling. Going to be Arif Sheikh into the attack. Thought we might see Gulshan Jah a little earlier today, but these kind of conditions, they're sort of that military medium dreamland, aren't they? Get the keeper up to the stumps, what we saw Brandon McMullen do so well the other day. And we might see a little bit of that in the second innings too from the likes of Vikramjit Singh. And that's he'll be on strike immediately. And Sheikh started poorly the other day, didn't he? But if he can just get into his zone, maybe apply a bit of squeeze here for Nepal.
I think that's such a good option to have if you've got a keeper who's comfortable standing up to the stumps, especially with this wind and ball moving around. Gets in behind that one and defends. They've done a good job of keeping this run rate quite low. Said that Netherlands might have to make the most of this first power play when the ball is hard or harder than it's going to be for a while with two new balls. But they've managed to keep them fairly quiet, and with 2 wickets already taken, I think Nepal will be feeling pretty good about this start. It makes this partnership even more important for the Netherlands. So with 2 wickets gone and the scoring not going at a rapid rate, they have to make the most of this partnership.
Historic strength for Netherlands has been their bowling and their fielding, but there have been signs of that evolving and changing in recent times, particularly with the consistency of Edwards and O'Dowd. Wes Barasi's been in phenomenal form in the top class too. He's forced his way back in at the ripe old age of 41. Very much keeping me inspired to keep fit and keep playing. That's helped round the corner. We'll race away for 4. Not the right line from Arif Sheikh, and just one hand on the bat, clipped away.
Actually, speaking about keeping you fit and inspired, a little bird tells me Lenny the leg spin is making a comeback. Am I right?
Well, you can't make a comeback when you never retire. It's
Oh,
not possible.
okay.
Always playing. Haven't been. I usually, on most of these tours, I usually turn up to a training session or two. Nepal are always happy to have me roll out a few leg breaks at them. Builds their confidence heavily. And can also do the same with a few of the other teams. They enjoy. Always like having a net bowler. That was the boundary. Just helped around the corner, not the right line. You can't bowl that line at any pace, let alone Arif Sheikh's pace. I think it was Heino Kuhn, was it, down there, who did the fielding? It might have actually been the Dutch team manager. As we get to the end of the 10th, maybe honours even, 40 for 2, but certainly Nepal will be pretty pleased with their.
दीप्ति अरोरा जी सिर्फ 38 साल की उम्र में एक बीमारी से चली गई। उनके टर्म लाइफ इंश्योरेंस के पैसे उनके बच्चे की पढ़ाई में काम आ सकते हैं। पॉलिसी बाजार ने क्लेम के वक्त फैमिली का पूरा साथ दिया। पॉलिसी बाजार पे 2 करोड़ का टर्म लाइफ इंश्योरेंस सिर्फ 700 रुपए महीने से शुरू। पंकज जी को बीमारी के कारण 7 बार हॉस्पिटल में एडमिट होना पड़ा। पॉलिसी बाजार की टीम ने हर बार उनका लाखों का क्लेम अप्रूव करवाने में पूरी हेल्प की। बीमारी में हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस ही काम आएगा। पॉलिसी बाजार पर 1 करोड़ का हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस सिर्फ 360 रुपए महीने से शुरू।
To get it sorted to the angle that you would more usually be accustomed to, but it's very difficult here today.
Not going to be possible today, I'm afraid. We have what we have for the day. Just that extreme wind warning that we have is meaning that we're going to have to battle away. Wouldn't have thought it in June in Scotland. Should be summer, as we do see Gulshan Jah come into the attack, so it's a double change for Nepal. Thought he bowled really nicely 2 days ago. Kushal Bertel does the fielding. For Nepal, they'll be pleased with this start, but these middle overs now, particularly kind of 25 to 40, where they led that fight back against Scotland 2 days ago, that ended up being so critical. They'll almost approach this in sort of 3 distinct phases remaining, 10 to 25, 25 to 40, and then the third and final power play for the last 10. For Edwards, it's been a remarkable run over the last 18, 24 months or so. Incredibly consistent. Probably a bit longer than that actually if you include the full Super League campaign. He was actually in action in the top class of this weekend, just gone by, Mel. VRA versus Kampong of Utrecht. Very keenly contested game by two of the international grounds there. And of course Vikramjit Singh plays for the VRA club. So the two men batting together as international teammates were very much rivals on the weekend. Edwards, with a century, got the better of the little mini battle.
Wouldn't he love it if he could bring up the same feat here for the first time on the international stage? Just those consistency of contributions and scores and half centuries, turn them into a truly significant one. But gee willy, because it's going to be hard today in these conditions. That wind is, I think, causing quite a bit of havoc all around the ground. Certainly in our commentary tent. Gulshan Jar bowled very tidily against Scotland a couple of days ago, 3 overs, none for 14. But boy, oh boy, did he contribute with the bat. Tremendous batting by the 19-year-old, 42 off 30, that crucial partnership with Karan Casey that really brought Nepal back into the game. It looked like they were all almost done and dusted. They'd lost a 7th wicket. Imagine that Nepal with the new coach, of course, coming on board, he would love seeing this 19-year-old and what he can do as he finishes the 11th over. Netherlands 42 for 2.
पंकज जी को बीमारी के कारण 7 बार हॉस्पिटल में एडमिट होना पड़ा। पॉलिसी बाजार की टीम ने हर बार उनका लाखों का क्लेम अप्रूव करवाने में पूरी हेल्प की। बीमारी में हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस ही काम आएगा। पॉलिसी बाजार पर 1 करोड़ का हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस सिर्फ 360 रुपए महीने से शुरू। दीप्ति अरोरा जी सिर्फ 38 साल की उम्र में एक बीमारी से चली गई। उनके टर्म लाइफ इंश्योरेंस के पैसे उनके बच्चे की पढ़ाई में काम आ सकते हैं। पॉलिसी बाजार ने क्लेम के वक्त फैमिली का पूरा साथ दिया। पॉलिसी बाजार पे 2 करोड़ का टर्म लाइफ इंश्योरेंस सिर्फ 700 रुपए महीने से शुरू। पॉलिसी बाजार पे 2 करोड़ का टर्म लाइफ इंश्योरेंस सिर्फ 700 रुपए महीने से शुरू।
Just the one change for Nepal. It's Lalit Rajbanshi coming in place of Rijan Dakal, so a spinner in for a seamer on a day where the seamers have caused lots of problems, but because of the all-round flexibility of this Nepali 11, they are able to really have an attack for any conditions. So Arif Sheikh can bowl these medium pacers. Gulshan Jha we've seen into the attack already. Still have 4 seam bowling options, but they've so many spin options now too, because even if I exclude Rohit Paudel, who's got plenty of international wickets and is very capable with his off breaks, they've got 4 out-and-out spinners. Sandeep Lamachani and Lalit Rajbanshi will lead the way, but Dipender Singh Ari and Kushal Bertel very capable too. So really, they have an attack not for a 50-over game, but for an 80-over game. They could really, any one of those 8 bowlers, let alone Rohit Kumar Paudel, could very much bowl their allocation. And it'll be one of the real difficulties, as it always is for Nepal, in terms of assessing who is the right person to bowl and when. Jha into the attack much earlier today, Mel.
Yeah, Sandeep Lamachani did bowl 10 overs, his full allocation.
Thought he bowled really well the other day, actually.
Yeah,
just
did.
at the end of the spell, he went searching for wickets a bit, which is something he can be a bit guilty of in terms of, for a man who's got such a wicket-taking record like him. Remember, 42 ODIs to get to 100, the fastest in the history of ODI cricket, 100 ODI wickets. But actually, the impact of that spell the other day was quite strong. He was
Yes.
going at 4 runs and over on a day where everyone else was going at pretty much more than a run a ball, with the exception of Karen KC. So you can build up pressure and take wickets by bowling dots. You don't have to bowl those incredible deliveries that he's capable of too.
Well, he did take 1 wicket. He finished with figures